What's up, everybody? Today we're reviewing the Tusk Rackless Excursion. This is the 15-liter version with the small duffel bag. What have I liked about it? What have I hated about it? I've had it about a year now, at least one season. And for starters, we can go over first, why do I have a rackless bag if I've got a rack that comes stock on the KLR? Well, long story short, I didn't want to get the pannier racks. But I chose to because after installing my crash bars, I realized that, you know what, this muffler is just going to get smashed anyways, and so I still went with the rackless. Can't say I totally regret that decision, but I wouldn't mind going for a bigger version of these later. Different story though. Anyways, biggest gripes with this setup from the get-go was definitely installation. So because it's a rackless system, of course it uses lots of straps. And so I've got them strapped around my pannier racks here. Same thing on the back here, they're strapped this way. This has never bothered me at all, but it is a lot of straps to deal with. The actual installation involves these little bolts. And once you've done it once, you'll never have to do it again, that's fine. But it was kind of a headache to get these bolts through the saddle. This is the mounting plate here. And then this attaches to that and swivels. And so when these bolts come through here, it's kind of hard to get those in there. So it kind of drove me nuts installation-wise. Other than that, it's a pretty great system. And I said I never found it getting loose or having any problems. Storage-wise, though, that's what's most important with these rackless systems. What can I haul in this? Is this good for a BDR trip? Maybe. I went with the small version, specifically because this is a fantastic setup for day trips and overnights. This is what I mostly do on the KLR. I'm not typically out there running to Alaska or going to Patagonia. If I was going to do a trip like that, I would get much bigger luggage, trust me. What I love about this system, though, is versatility. You'll see in many of my videos, you know, this bag comes off easily, and you can switch it out with milk crates. Get yourself a milk crate!
It was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Or milk loader crates. You can switch it out with camping gear. I've had sleeping bags and bed mats and all kinds of stuff on the back here. I don't have to have the duffel bag. That's what I like about it. It just comes off and I can switch that out. And while you're riding, this can just stay as it is, these little bags. What do I have in this stuff right now, though? The bags, I have a rule. If it's going to be on the bike and not on my person, I can tolerate the idea of it being stolen. So typically I just have extra tubes in here. I got a front and a rear, and I've got some tire changing tools. And if I'm on an overnight trip, I might put some, you know, maybe I do have the bottle holders. I have not put those on yet. No real reason, just haven't done it. They install on the Molly pads here, but I do have the bottle holders and just haven't put them on yet. So for now, though, because of that laziness, I put, you know, my water canteens in here. But yeah, it hauls enough. But yeah, it's a day trip setup, so this isn't exactly the biggest. It's great for an overnight camping trip. The idea being that you're going to go to a convenience store or a restaurant or a grocery store because you're camping, so you don't need to have a giant bag. Currently in here, this is just for show. I've got my riding jacket in here. But yeah, this has turned out to be the perfect size duffel kit if you just want to bring a night bag with you, change of clothes. I put a pair of shoes in here if I go hiking maybe. And yeah, in the hotel room, once again, perfect for an overnight trip. You could get away with 2 nights if you're like me and sometimes just wear the same clothes. That's going to work out great. You could probably go indefinitely with that setup. But if you're going to go on a longer trip, I would probably still upgrade to the bigger bags. But let's be honest with yourself. How often are you going to be riding to Alaska? How often are you going to ride to Patagonia? How often are you doing the TAT? You know, people don't do those very often. So if you're doing those, get a bigger bag. But if you're just somebody who rides more locally, this is a great setup. Cost-wise, I got this on sale, I think $300 maybe. Very universal setup, fits on all bikes, and I can almost even say I like that it doesn't go over the pannier racks, because when I dump it, there'll be no damage to the bags because it's going all in the rack. So that's what I bought the racks for, actually, is armor. So they can get all bent up, they're replaceable. I actually think the bags probably cost more than the rack does anyways. So yeah, it's great for that setup. Frankly, it gets a 5-star from me. So if you're looking for a rack, Merry Christmas. This is the one for you.